Bangsawikrama-Bakrude, and I want to share something special with you today, something very personal to me, and it's something that I've never shared before. It's also my first video in English on this channel, and I had the privilege of growing up in a family as the eldest of 3 children. My true testimony of how I became a settled for Christ, and how I encountered the one and only person that changed my life, the one and only God who saw something in me when no one else did, and when no one else was there for me. He was the one who rescued me. And it is time that I share this, because I know it will set lots of people free. And I know there are many people out there who need inspiration, who need these words. I was actually very privileged of growing up in a family with parents that both my father and mother were there, and they still stick together, they still married, and that's all grace of God. Because he had, I believe now, he had a very special plan for us all. And it's all because of his love and all because of his grace. And I'm able to tell you this story today because there were many times, that my life wasn't certain anymore. And growing up, it wasn't very easy for me. I was raised in a very loving and caring way. My mother gave all her time to her children. She gave herself completely and fully to raising her children, and that's something I really appreciate. But growing up for me was very struggling and difficult for me, in a way that I was a very introvert person, and I didn't know how to express myself, and I didn't talk very much. I was someone who was getting very aggressive very easily, and I was misunderstood a lot of times, and even to the point that my parents didn't really know what to do with it, and really got frustrated, because even talking to me, makes me aggressive. My mother had to come to the elementary school several times because I didn't behave very well. I would beat up guys. I would beat up the kids at school when they were bullying me. And I was someone that was very mad inside, and even to the point it didn't make any sense. There was so much love, there was so much care around me, but I couldn't appreciate it. I couldn't recognize the love, and I couldn't be vulnerable. That I was getting into fights with my sister and with my brother also, but more with my sister. And there was also a lot of competition between me, my sister, and we are very much alike. And I'm 2 years older than her, so most of the things I went through together with her. And my mother gave me also the responsibility, as the elder one, you should take care of your little sister. And I really was against it. I was very rebellious, but in a way that was from the inside. I had a very dark mindset, and I remember being jealous at my sister all the time. I remember not giving her the attention, not thinking that she was not deserving of love of any of my parents, and I always believed that my parents didn't care or didn't love me enough, and I didn't understand why I was put on this earth. I had so many questions about life, about my purpose here on earth, and what is the reason that I'm on this earth? Is there a God? Is there a plan? I mean, wasn't I a mistake or something? There were often many times that I wish I was a boy also, and I also I sought very much after the attention, the love of my father. And my father was someone, he was working a lot and very late, and he made very long hours at work. And I sought his attention very much, but I didn't receive it the way I wanted it. And so I became very jealous and angry from the inside when my little sister gained all the attention because she was smarter than me. She was very easy at making friends, and I was the one, like the outcast, left outside. I wasn't very easy to make friends. I was very difficult. I didn't really know how to express myself, and it was just like I was angry all the time. I I would bite on my nails. I would talk a lot to myself, and I remember growing up, becoming a teenager. It became more difficult for me, and my parents didn't really know how to connect to me. They were listening to rock music, to heavy metal, and I believe that was the only kind of music that I could connect to. And I was hearing very upsetting voices. I had a very dark mindset, and I didn't believe that anyone would ever love me the way I was. And I really believed that I was made as a mistake, and that I was really angry at God, somewhere deep from inside. I knew He was there. I don't know, all along. I just knew it deep from the inside, from the core, but I just didn't believe He wanted to do anything with me. I felt very disgusted of myself, and I couldn't express myself, and people didn't understand me. And it led to a point that in the satanic mindset I had, in the supernatural, it was very dangerous because I would curse people. The power in my mind was so powerful that I could kill, I could curse people and just say to myself, oh, I just wish you were never born. Or I just say, just drop dead. Or just say the most ugly and nasty things to people, but just from the inside, from out of my heart, from out of this satanic mindset, and it would hurt people a lot, and I would isolate myself a lot, and I would cry a lot, and I would feel very alone, and I would feel like I was trapped inside of darkness, but I didn't know how to express it. I didn't know how to came out of it. So I started listening to rock music, and the lyrics attracted me, and also the instruments, they spoke to me a lot, and I became one with the music. I started sinking more deeper and deeper, and I also started together with my sister and a couple of friends. We started a girl band, a rock band. It didn't last very long, but I knew in myself I was searching for a breakthrough. I was searching because I was in a lot of pain, and I was often thinking about how to take my life, and does it even matter if to someone if I existed, And I also believe that my parents didn't even love me. Nobody loved me, and I was a burden to everyone, and that I had to prove myself so very hard to other persons. And I was in a lot of pain, and I didn't know really what to do. So I just listened to the music, and I just completely disappeared. I vanished, and I just became like a child of the darkness. And I had sympathy for the dead people. I had more sympathy for the dead. I couldn't trust anyone around me. I was building walls around me, and I wouldn't let anyone in. And if I let you in, that was like you were my trusted one, my most trusted one, and I would do like everything and surrender myself completely to you, and give, like, for friendship. If I had one or two friends, I would do completely anything for them. And if I get disappointed, if I was disappointed by them, my whole world would collapse. And I was living in a very scary, tiny, dark box, and I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't. And I was also wearing a lot of black clothing, that all people know that, oh yeah, you see her, she's always wearing black, and she's one of those rocker chicks, and visits those parties and those friends, things like that. And people were also scared of me. I remember friends of my sister were also scared of approaching me, afraid that I would be aggressive, or a lot of times I recall, if I just jump off the building, if I just push myself off a cliff. I remember studying. I went away at one moment in my life. I went to study in Holland, and yes, I got to the point there where my soul really searched and really longed to be set free from this captivity, because those voices, they became too much, and there was so much pressure on me, and I was really searching and looking for that one voice, for that one mighty supernatural arm force that will grab me and say, you know what, I got you. And that's when I started searching from the inside to who is God and who is the real God, you know. And some things happened while I was studying in Holland also, and I also continued listening to rock music. Still had a very satanic mindset, you know. Didn't have a lot of friends, and if I had them, I was going with the flow, and didn't know the line the difference between love and lust also. So I thought that every boy who liked me loved me, you know. So I was very easygoing. I was very light-minded, and I was walking in the satanic mindset for a long time, until I had a very powerful encounter with God, and that was the first time was in Holland, where I couldn't stand it anymore. And all those voices talking to me, all those weird things happening around me, all those dreams I was getting about flying. I was getting dreams that I was flying in the air, you know, as if I had wings. I often saw myself with a black jacket, like flying in the air. I saw myself swimming in the water and also eating in the water, and also getting those very unclean dreams of men you didn't know, but they came to sleep with you, and they called them spiritual husbands, and I didn't know it at the time, but they came, and I couldn't get rid of them, and I didn't know how to get rid of them. I got addicted to lust. I got addicted to a destructive satanic mindset, and I isolated myself a lot, and it got to the point that every day when I woke up, I knew I was a failure. I was saying to myself, you know, you are a failure. You're not gonna make it. You don't have very long on this earth. It's better that you get rid of yourself, because nobody will ever love you. And that's when I got the very strong and powerful encounter that I will never forget. And that's the moment that God started talking to me, you know, because I started reaching out to Him. I was trying different things. I was reaching out to Reiki. I was reaching out to yoga. I was reaching out to meditating. Meditation. I was reaching out to different other things. I also had a relationship with an Islamic boy, you know, and I was also opening myself up, because I was looking for answers. I was so desperate to find this one and truly God. And I told Him, Lord, I don't know who you are, what your name really is, but if you really exist, I ask you to show yourself in a mighty way. And you know what? He did. He did. And the moment He did, He started talking to me. And I knew, hey, this is a voice I've never heard before, but I knew that my life would never be the same anymore. It would never be the same again. And it's the same voice that told me back when I was in Holland that there was a very huge plan for my life, but it wasn't in the Netherlands. I had to go back to Suriname, the country where I grew up, and I had to go back and leave everything behind. And you know, it didn't make sense. I just knew this was God that was talking to me. This was Jesus who was talking to me. I had, you know, this real urge inside of me. Just you know that this is God talking to you. His Spirit is talking to you, because I was searching for that voice a very long time, and I just recognized this. You know, this is God talking to me. You have to obey right now, because this mess where I am in right now, it's not going to go anywhere. It's only going to get me killed, you know. And these voices, I couldn't take them anymore, and I saw myself as the biggest failure ever. And it doesn't matter what I did, people just, you know, won't approve of me. I lived to please people. I was a very messed up person in my head. I was very angry all the time, and I couldn't even smile, you know. Sometimes when people look at me, they just said, you know, why do you look that way? Why don't you smile? You also look so, you always look so serious. You're so serious. Relax, you know. I didn't know how to do that, those kind of things. It was only that I gave myself completely to darkness in my mind, in my heart, and I didn't know love until I met Jesus. And that's when things really started turning around. I came to Suriname, the country where I grew up, and I gave my life, you know. I gave my life as an offering. So, you know, Lord, I don't even know you. I don't know much about you, but I know this is you talking. So I'm gonna obey, and I'm gonna go back to Suriname, and I'm going to do exactly what you have told me. And that's what I did, you know. And I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't always a sunshiny way. No, I made a lot of mistakes, and I mean a lot. I mean a lot. I mean, I don't know. There is a saying that in Dutch that if a donkey knocks his head, you know, to one stone, he doesn't. But you know, I think I was worse than the donkey, because I knocked my head. I made so many mistakes. I couldn't even count them. But still, it was the grace of God, because He had a plan for me. And I knew I came at a certain point that I gave my life to Christ, but I knew these voices were still, yeah, they were still following me. I was still having those nightmares, those dreams, and I knew that there had to be more. I had to be set free, but I was searching for more. I said, you know, Lord, I am so hungry. I just got to know you, and it's the best thing I have ever done in my life, to give myself completely to you. And I had this certain peace that I encountered, this certain satisfaction, you know, this certain love, unconditional love that this love that I discovered. And I knew I had to be delivered. I had to be set free, because the darkness was claiming me back. And it was Satan's kingdom that was pulling me back. It was a very spiritual, strong battle I could experience. Because even when I got married, there was a very spiritual battle in the heavenly realms, because Satan didn't want that my husband and I become one with each other. And you know, all the unclean spirits started manifesting. I got manifestations of witches, of lots of demons, you know, that all those voices that were talking to me all along, and all those ancestral spirits, they came down to haunt me. They came down to attack me, you know. And I really knew from that point, no, this is no way turning back. Let the enemy take me over like that. And I knew I need deliverance. So I asked the Lord to take me to that place, to bring me, to show me if there even was a place in Suriname. I don't know, I didn't know, but I just was like, God, just lead me with your spirit. And that's the moment when I encountered GCSM, Jesus Christ Safe Mission, the synagogue of Yahweh. And that, the moment I went into that place, I went in with a group of people, a group of prayers, and we were young, and we were very eager to know the voice of God, to do the will of God. And we were very hungry, you know, hungry for the Lord, for His next move, what He wants from us, what we wanted Him to speak about us, that we wanted to know what is our purpose, what is His plan with us. So we went to that church, we went to GCSM, and I tell you, the moment I stepped in, I completely knew that my life, oh my goodness, my life would not be the same, like ever. This is next level stuff. This is next level, truly next level stuff. I have no explanation. I don't know how to explain it, because the moment I stepped in, I experienced God in that place, and I got delivered. And I never went to a place before where God could talk to me like that and knew every problem and every trouble I went to. He could tell me everything, you know, from my birth, from the moment I was born to the very present day. He knew everything about my parents, about my past, about the things I have never told anyone. And it completely shocked me. And I thought to myself, is this even possible? That the Father, the Heavenly Father, created this world, you know, this universe, that would even care about someone like me and know everything and just love, just love, give his love to me. I couldn't understand that. It was so overwhelming, and he touched me so very deep in a way. It really changed my life, you know. It really changed the way I saw everything, and he really showed me his love, and he showed me how to open up my heart to others like I've never done before, because I was filled with so much hatred, so much pain, so much neglect. And I have cursed myself so many times. I have wished so many times that I was dead, you know. I didn't see the purpose in this life, and he just, you know, I experienced this, his power, his glory, his unfailing love, his faithfulness, the way he opened up his heart to me, and just let me know, you know, I don't want you to be perfect. Just come as you are, and I want you to be delivered also. And he showed me the love through his son, you know, Jesus Christ. And I just experienced how wonderful it was that this great offering of his son that gave his life, his blood for me, you know, I could be set free. And I can tell you, I can testify from this day on, I am delivered from this satanic mindset. I became a child of light. I felt his light coming over me. He delivered me from, you know, all the sadness, all the depression, all the oppression that was inside of me. All those years, all those moments I was crying alone in my room, and nobody didn't even see me. I felt like nobody even didn't care. But this God, he just saw right through my soul. He saw right through my heart, and he understood me like no one else could do that, you know. And I was like, wow, he is the bestest friend I always wished for, and I found it in him, and I was so very happy. And I can tell you now that I am delivered, and from all those evil satanic mindsets, from that darkness that I was attracted to, you know. God set me free, and I give him all the glory for that. And I know also that are people out there, wherever and whoever you are, doesn't matter what language which you speak or what age, live with so much pain, and we try to do things on our own, you know, and we try to lock out the love of God, when God really tries to reach out for his souls, because he is the lover of souls, you know. He is the one that created you. He's the one that gave you purpose. He's the one that loved you right from the start, you know, and he's the one that loved us first. And I just want to encourage you, I got delivered, and so can you. And I also believe that what God did for me, a person like me, you know, who am I? I'm not better than no one else. I just want to be the humble servant of God, of Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, and I want to serve him with everything, because what he did for me, I also want to help other people receiving their deliverance, being set free, and being able to laugh again, being able to smile again, being able to embrace life again, because that's what it's all about, an encounter with God, an intimate relationship with him, you know. And we are made to have that relationship. We are made like that. It's only that you have to be set free. You have to open your heart more for his love and give yourself completely. And I want to encourage you this day, if you are that person, okay, reach out your heart. I can help you also. You can leave your comment here, you can like, you can share, and be blessed by this video. I hope it was an inspiration for you.